Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Micks Mowers, and in today's episode we're going to be looking at that FLITE MTD mower. That's the one that the gentleman gave me for getting his other lawnmower up and running. I think there's a few problems wrong with it. It will only run on choke. It only runs on choke. I can't move the throttle, so I want a new throttle system put on it. He said there's a problem with the 6-speed drive as well. I think just literally the regulation of it. Not quite sure what's up with that. I don't know a lot about it. It's a driven mower with a rear roller and what have you, so I'm not too sure, but I won't know until I have a look. It's as simple as that. The gentleman was very happy with his mount field that just dropped off. He was super impressed with that and very happy. That's good. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty and let's check out this little tiny FLITE lawnmower. Okay, and here she is, MTD FLITE roller and what have you, all singing, all dancing. Nice little mower actually, but I think the problem is when you adjust the throttle up the top, nothing's moving here. That's what it's showing me. So it's probably a failure at the top end on the throttle box, which is where they normally fail anyway. Just try and fire it up. So it starts. Now he did say he hit something, a root in his garden, but it's not showing any signs. However, there is some oil down in here. So you look at that. It may be, maybe a new oil still put in it or something. Not quite sure yet. But let's get it up on the bench. Let's have a quick look at it and see what we can come up with. Okay, so she's a bit wet because she's been outside and lashing down with rain. But hopefully, if we can get it all to run and have a good tidy up. As I say, there's a little bit of oil. The whole engine seems to be caked in oil, which I'm a bit suspicious about. But it may have been tipped up where he had it all and all that sort of stuff, so I'm not quite sure yet. So the first thing I want to do, I want to slacken this off, and then take the throttle box cable off and just see if I can't see what's going on with this. I suppose that's where we'll start. So I just want to slacken that off. And choke is right back towards me. I want to stay on there. I'll get it off if I can. Because it may just be a bit being pinched on this here. There it goes. So that'll tell you where to put it back on anyway. Let me just try and disconnect this. That's better. There's not a lot of slack on here. I might have to remove it off the top end first. Right, this is where I want to get to. Up here, as you can see, none of this is moving. There's a cable there. That's for dead man. It rides on top. And then you've got a cable here, and you can see here, look. That's not doing anything. That's something to do with it. There it is there. I'll push that in. And try and retain it in. No, it's not doing nothing there. So that's the problem. See it from there. So let me just undo this nut here. There's a screw on the back. Undo it. Take all this assembly off. And then we go from there. Take the dead man's handle off. Cable. And then we'll take this assembly off and we'll have a quick look at it. Okay, so I've got the cable back down here now. So let me put the bolt in, so it's got somewhere centralised to go, and then yeah, that's all bent in there. It's all bented up. How does that come out of there then? That's it, like that. Some of that. It's got a central clutch system on there. I like to think that just slides out now. Let me try and get rid of that cable. Oh, that's the cable gone. So that all works as it should do. Happy with that. That's not a fault. It's actually going to be the cable. Yeah, it's all charred up, bent up, and that's going to sit in one of these here, I think. So it goes that way on the mower. So yeah, that would sit into one of these locating lugs like that. So let me just try and straighten that up with a pair of pliers. Just try and get it to move, because it's not as straight as it should be. I'll try and get it to run out if I can. Let me try and move this carburetor assembly up. Yeah, it's actually seized in there. Yeah. Right, I'm going to take this whole cable out of the mower. That's better. Now it's quite a long cable, that. Just want to try and run that cable if I can to try and get the move. Absolutely lashing down here. Well, it's about as straight as I can get it. We'll put it back on the device and see if I can't get this to run. So that's got to sit inside there. And then all hook up. There's the hole, there it is. That sits in there. That then goes onto one of these slots. I'm hoping this will feed in. It is moving, but it is bending at the same time. And what I don't want to do, I don't want to break this this control. No, it's not going to have it, I don't think. It is moving ever so slightly, but not as much as I would like. So I'm afraid this is going to have to be put on the bench until I can get a new cable for it, which will be next week. I don't have a spare. So I need to measure this and then get a spare in for it. So when the spare comes in, we'll come back. Right, it's the next day, and I was just pondering in my shed, like you do, about this cable. And then it dawned on me that actually over here I've got a massive big reel of solid core 1.5mm core cable, which is solid. It's not just separate strands like a bike cable. So I wonder if I can't put that in there and make something up. Got loads of it. So what I intend to do is use that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, this end is more critical, which is going to be the top end. I've taken my top hat off of there already, which is all bent up. I'm going to bend that up, I'll leave that one where it is, bend that one straight, pull it out, clean the cable up inside, and then feed a new bit through, and then see if we can't do something with that. Right, let's have a go at it and see what we can come up with. I just want to bend that straight if I can. It won't like being bent, that's for sure, because it want to move on me all the time. But if I can get hold of it, just straighten. I don't want to cut it off, because I want to know how long it actually is for when I replace it. That's got him. That's straight enough for me. Put that in the vise. Go the other way. That's all chewed up there, see? So put that in the vise. Like that. And then try and pull that out. Which it will go. That's cool. So now that's completely empty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the WD-40 and air compressor air compress first. Then run some WD-40 cleaner through it. And then air compress it again to clean it right up so it runs a lot smoother. The old cable itself looks really good. It's in good condition, but it is getting caught up. So I'm guessing it's actually inside the inside the actual armour itself. So let me get it all air compressed out inside here, cleaned out, and then we'll try and thread some new stuff through. Right, that's all now been cleaned out, and what have I need to just literally tape up some of these bits here because the air is escaping through. I'll wipe it off, get a bit of tape around that so it's all covered up and airtight, and I'll get another quick clean off, and then we'll try and thread some stuff going through that, but nothing to stick to that all the time. I've got WD-40 all over the place, so let me get cleaned up, tidied up, and then just tidy these areas up. That's probably where it's been rusted through and why the cable's catching, and then we'll go from there. Okay, that's all now been cleaned off. So I'll be a bit conscious of not putting no more dirt on there if I can help it. I'll put a rag on the floor and put the end of a cable on the rag so I don't introduce nothing else. And then bring in this new core cable I got, and hopefully fit that all the way down. Oh, that's too short, that piece. That's a lot cut. Let me get a new piece. It's going to be there. I'll be a bit careful here. That's the wrong one. Don't want to kink it, you see. It's that one there. So that'd be that one. That's it. Bit fiddly. I want something to hang that on really, whilst I'm feeding it in. Right. That can now be fed into there. Well, hopefully it'll run really smoothly. That's going in. That's come out the other side. Let me clip that off with a pair of snippers, which will be up here. Go and give it plenty. About there. Put that up. Just want to put this cable away and then we make the start. Okay, so the new cable's now in place, and as you can see, it runs really well, really smooth, as it should do. So that's cool. So I want to simulate the end. So that's the end that come off the throttle that I'm not concerned about. This is the end that come off the box, and it's got only a very small turn in it. So I'll get a pair of pliers. Let me get a decent set out. And what I want to do is just recreate that little kick. So if I bend that like so first, and then get hold of that, I might get two pairs of pliers in here just to hold it. Put that in there like that, and then gently bend that section back up. I'll make it quite a fierce sort of bend if I can help it. Something like that. That can be snipped off there, like so, and then that should recreate what's going on there. It's a bit fierce on what it needs to be, but hopefully that'll do. I need to put the top hat back on, which is that piece there. That went on like so, and that just literally screwed down. I might put that in a vise. I need to hold a whole lot still. Let me hold that one still with these, and then nick these up. Yeah, it's going down. The whole lot's starting to spin. Oh, I think that's got him. Yeah, that's got him. So now, hopefully that'll go into my throttle control. That's what I'm hoping. Like so, that then clips onto there. And when it all goes back in together, it all locks up into place. And I get to line up. Yeah, that's working there, see? Well, I think I'm somewhere close. I think. I'll bring that cable up, which is the dead man. That goes through there. That sits into there. That all goes onto there. And then that moves. And the bottom of a cable. So choke is all the way back to me, and if I go throttle, that pushes it out, so that's correct. So that's running right way there. Let me just bolt it on, and then we'll go from there. I might have to do something with this cable down here. I don't think it wants to jump out, but I think if I just cable tight just to that arm, that will just stop any slack moving. But that's now running as it should do, so I'm happy with that. Let me put a bolt through it, bolt it together, and I'll come back. Right, okay, this is where we are now. So that's got to clip onto there. That's got to be set to choke, which is up at top, which it is. Choke is all the way back on this machine. And then throttle is all the way forward, so that's going to be choke there, I say. So that's where it was set beforehand, which is too close for me now. So I want to come back to here. About there is where I want to make my first bend. And I want to bend it. Let's have a look here. I want to come. It should be over the top. That cable fits in there, so it should be over the top. So let's go about there. And let's bend that cable that way. Put them pliers in there. I mean, it's quite deep. That does actually hook it. Pliers in there, and then bring that up. And snip that off. That there. I can tie this up a bit later on, a bit more slack if I can get it. Like that. Yeah, happy with that. That ain't coming out. And then I can set the choke all the way back, which is going to be about there. Put that retainer back in just to hold it, and then I can then test out to see if that's actually working or not. Right, just nicking this up. Nice and tight. That's as far back as it can go. Now, if I go around the other side and move that throttle, I'm hoping this will now push that arm forward. This is currently set to choke. So if I now push that forward, that's idle. So that's idle. Full throttle, choke. So that's now working as it should. The cable's a bit sloppy at the top end, but I'm going to put a cable tie into that just to hold it into position. It's staying in place, but yeah, idle, full choke, full throttle and choke. Right, that's working. Just want to tidy that end off. Don't want it sticking out too far if I can help it. About there. I don't think it's not going to run out of here. It can't. I might just put another little turn just in that, just to take the slack up just a touch. About there. Yeah, that's got him. Right, that's one cable repaired. I'm going to put it on the deck now and just try and fire this up, just so I can see if it does actually run or not. As I say, I was a bit concerned about some oil, but that's water down there. The engine does look particularly dirty, but I couldn't even run it properly. So he said he hit something, so I just want to double check it's all running as it should do. I think there's other faults with the mower, but this is the main one. I couldn't even get it to run right, so let's put it on the deck and we'll give it a little bit of a run. Right, let's go for a fire up. There's fuel in there, isn't there? It did run earlier on. Yeah, about half a tank of fuel. Let's see what we get then. So onto choke. Or onto your hats. Spark plug HT lead is on. Very well at the minute. Cool, it all works. I think it just needs setting ever so slightly. I think the choke is just too far back because it doesn't want to idle all the way forward. So I can fine tune that, that's not a problem, but it all runs. Just want to check out this variable speed now. That's what I'm looking at because he said the variable speed didn't work. So just going to give it a quick run down the garden and see if there's any change in the speed when I run it. No, the variable speed works absolutely fantastic, so it's good. Right, so it's going to be a full service on this little baby, and then new air filter, new oil change, new spark plug, all that sort of good stuff. Blade sharp and balance, and handle sprayed up. As you can see, it cuts actually relatively well. You can see that cut line in there. That's quite good, so quite happy with that. Okay, so another good little fix there, and that cost pennies because I think that reel only cost me about £4 for the whole reel, so I've got enough there to do about another 4 or 5, even maybe 6 other throttle cables, so I need to bear that in mind in the future. So that lawnmower is now all up and running. It needs a general service. I put a new spark plug in, I have changed it all, but I've just ordered a new air filter for it because I don't have a spare for that. So I have that. I've checked the underside and the bottom seal is not leaking, so I don't know where that excess oil has come from. I think it's come from over the years. It's just never been cleaned up. So I'll give it a good run and make sure that it's not going to be playing up or anything along those lines. So super happy. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Mixed Mowers. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Don't forget my 500 subs giveaway competition is running to the end of June. That's in one of my previous videos titled 500 subs giveaway. It's self-explanatory. There are some rules you need to do to be in a chance to win the compression kit, which I'm giving away, which is one of these. and I'll post all over the world. It may take me a while to get it to you if you're other side of the world, but I will get it to you eventually. So thank you very much. If it's your first time in watching these videos, don't forget to tap the old subscribe button if that's something you want to do, and whack the old bell. That'll give you a notification as to say that I've released another video. Apart from that, all comments, positive, negative, leave them down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But until further notice, take it easy.